The political grift is over.
At that point, like, there'll be people that, like, they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for.
Yeah.
I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he's going to do, except sending immigrants back. And now he's even flip-flopped on that, which I kind of like. But he's like, oh, well, we kind of need the people
We need to send them all back. Even the thick Latinas. They got to go.
in restaurants, and we need our farmers. It's like everything that he said that he was going to do that he campaigned
Well, he said
really
to
hard
us,
on.
which was important.
All right, so after about 5 short months of Trump being president, the podcast bros in the Rogan sphere are already backpedaling on voting for him and publicly supporting him on their podcasts to hundreds of...
Listen, when they zig, we at Third Eye Global zag. If they're denouncing Trump, we're embracing him.
millions of voters in America. Like as you just saw, Andrew Schultz is completely baffled by what Trump has done in office since being elected, claiming he voted for none of what Trump has been doing. Let's not forget that this is the same guy who was all giddy and excited at the thought of his podcast swaying the election after their Trump interview.
It's not close anymore. Is that the energy y'all felt?
You're a prisoner of the moment.
Yeah, you really are.
We know that about me.
Right.
We know that about me.
Before Trump came on, you're like, yeah, it could go either way. It's very close.
No, before he came on, I was like, he don't got a chance. I was like, he's coming on here. He got to be down bad.
I feel like those guys are just laugh tracks for Andrew Schultz. Because if you have a bunch of people laughing at everything you say on your payroll, I mean, it's hard for you to look bad in any situation.
He got to be down. I mean, no, we're the best. He got to be down bad. And then after the interview, obviously we saw the reaction.
And you got 20 or 25 text messages, and you were like, this guy's winning.
Yo, listen, it wasn't the 20 to 25 text messages. You know what it was? It was the looks on the street.
So yeah, very idiotic stuff.
They are his chat. You guys are way cooler and funnier.
Coming from the Flagrant podcast, as always. But honestly, you can't blame Andrew Schultz for behaving this way. Because after all, he's just following the Joe Rogan blueprint as he's done since...
Yo, is that the height difference? That's Photoshop.
the very beginning. Joe Rogan was the guy who made this Waluigi lookalike so successful. He's the guy who inspired Andrew to start a podcast. And he's the guy who probably set up the Donald Trump interview. So if you're gonna point fingers at this stuff, point them at the guy who they're standing in the very short 5'5" shadow of at best, Joseph 250 Rogan. Joe Rogan is
It's the top 250 comedy assassin right there. The man who started it all.
also shocked at Donald Trump doing exactly what he said he was going to do, as he was just criticizing Donald Trump and his immigration policies in a recent podcast he did, calling these policies insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
We were told there would be no...
I don't think it's that insane. Deporting illegals. On the list of insanity, that's got to be pretty low on the totem pole. And it's like a federal law.
Well, there's two things that are insane. One is the targeting of migrant workers, not cartel members.
But what if they're illegal? And they are targeting cartel members. MS-13, Tren de Aragua.
Not gang members, not drug dealers, just construction workers.
Yo, I don't know if you guys read your local news, but there have been some absolutely cataclysmic busts in my vicinity. I'm talking crime syndicates that have come crashing down. Bunkers have been busted. They're not playing around. Maybe that's Nassau and Suffolk County, New York. But
Showing up in construction sites and raiding them. Gardeners.
Yeah.
Like, really?
And so the buffoonery has gotten so bad that even Hulk Smash himself, Mark Ruffalo, had to call Joe out for this in a tweet he made the other day, saying it's a little late now to pretend like Project 2025 didn't exist all along. You're either not that smart or not that dumb. It's hard to tell at this point, which I must say is pretty on the money. I mean, there were Trump supporters waving enormous mass deportation.
You see, my problem with everyone sharing their opinion on everything is that they're not schizo enough. Most of these people are just normies, even if they're celebrities. When you're in the trenches of slop and you see everything and you squeegee your third eye, they're empty, vacuous, generalized claims where they try to cling to morality and appeal to the masses. It's just sad.
Signs at every one of Trump's rallies leading up to this election.
I just don't give a flying fuck about Mark Ruffalo's political opinions.
So for Joe Rogan to act this way, especially after having Trump on the podcast, is absolutely mindless. And mind you, that was likely Rogan's largest podcast of all time. So now for him and his army of unfunny goons to take no accountability is very, very dumb.
A lot of people are missing the third eye. In fact, not many people have it at all. It's the reason I can hardly partake in small talk.
And honestly pretty characteristic of the Rogan sphere.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you regret it?
A lot of people made a big deal, but I did say that I regretted it the other day. Look,
you shouldn't be able to tell the common man what to think if you haven't been one in years. Yeah, a lot of people get lost in the soy sauce. They don't remember where they came from. They lose sense of reality. They switch up. They're not true to themselves. Now, people can evolve, for sure. But Joe Rogan is not a normal man. I don't even know if he goes out in public.
It's almost like podcasters who have zero knowledge of anything outside of locker room humor shouldn't get involved in politics, let alone invite them onto their huge platform.
Now, do you think the White House, or say the current administration, understands that the media is the people in many aspects, and the motion is in podcasting and modern mediums like streaming? And essentially, they're just using this as an opportunity to clip farm. Joe's just a normal, chill guy worth hundreds of millions.
And have them push whatever narrative they want.
Like, Benjamin Netanyahu was just on the Nelk Boys podcast. Hello?
While giving absolutely zero pushback to anything that they have to say. And the Rogan sphere has gotten so political now that some of the comedians inside of it are speaking out.
This interview was brutal. Talk to her, by the way. She asked for my number and we chatted it up. That's a real story. I'm telling you, boys, I've been out here. She was picking my brain on the esoteric fringes of the internet, and I was like, "This is above your pay grade."
About it, like when Andrew Santino, Bobby Lee, and Yanni Papa all came to the conclusion that comedy podcasts should have never turned political on a recent episode of Bad Friends.
Well, if you don't care about politics, politics will care about you.
Makes me happy to know that this
Same glasses like me. You know what? You just got to ruin everything, huh? I can't be associated with these soy people.
show is still as stupid
I am an elitist giga chad.
as it's always been from the beginning, because I see a lot of our podcast pals or people in our sphere that are taking these shows to a level that we don't go to.
Which is what?
Well, they're all having like
They're all, like,
politicians on.
journalists.
Tim got fucking interviewed by like CNN.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
Well, Tim Dillon is actually politically minded and has talked about it since the inception of his podcast, as far as I'm aware. He's always had that political side to him, so it's kind of on brand. A lot of these goofy, Homer Simpson adjacent, funny guys are just outclassed in the marketplace of ideas. And I don't think you shouldn't talk about politics. It's just that you show your true colors over an extended period of time in the podcast medium in that exact format.
Yeah, we stay here.
Same with hyenas.
We stay right
here. Yeah.
And I saw that they had Bernie on Schultz's show.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
He's not coming here.
Bernie?
Yeah, we had David Mamet.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, but that's rad.
We got people that they can't get.
Yeah.
No, it's not that they can't get.
I think a lot of people actually care about politics because it's affecting their everyday lives, and there's a lot of content to farm and ideas to express within that realm. So it's kind of infinite in many ways. Pods trying to win at popularity all chase the middle bell curve money spot.
Well, they can get him,
Yeah.
but we got him too.
I just don't think we want politicians on
No,
the show.
no.
It's getting a little
it'd be
muddled,
fun.
right? It's getting.
Why, Bucko? Are you scared? Let's see what you really think.
Little, what's going on?
I just think podcasting, comedy podcasting is entering this world of like news or something.
Yeah.
And people are taking it serious.
You got to either adapt or die. I don't think many people are going to be listening to Bad Friends if they don't talk about or even make light of serious situations that are going on. Let's just joke around and keep it super safe. We're here to make you laugh. You see, that's almost just as cringe and cope.
And it's not.
Well, there was an article after the election about how legacy media doesn't have the, power it once had, and that podcasting is now, replacing some of that,
That's not good.
Yeah,
shouldn't replace it. This should be its own thing.
Yeah.
This is its own form of music.
I'm just fucking tired of comedians in general. That's so true. None of these people are funny, god damn it! Holy buckets, walking around with the audacity of being called the funny man. Imagine what that does to a motherfucker's ego. That's why they're all fucking gooners. God. They can't even get the funny part down.
Go on to make a fantastic point when they say that they simply don't know enough to have politicians onto their podcasts, which is very refreshing to hear these comedians admit to, since the guys that do have politicians on seem to think they're the second comings of Pythagoras or Aristotle.
We also, you probably know more than me, probably, but I don't know much.
In the world?
Yeah.
I only know what I read.
Hasn't comedy always been affiliated with politics? Because that's what's going on. It's downstream of culture. So you go to a comedian to analyze culture and make you laugh by highlighting certain aspects about it and maybe some unique, nuanced irony.
Read this morning.
Yeah, so me too. So my point is that we don't know enough to have these people on. We are goofy.
Yeah.
It's a comedy podcast.
That could be your thing, though. You could have these politicians on and just, I don't know, make them laugh, roast them.
Imagine Bernie Sanders coming. He's like, it's great to be here. And Bobby's like, what does your penis look like?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny. That's content. Do your job.
No, I wouldn't say that. Why you? You're fucking mind. Why would I say that?
What would you say?
In many ways, it's a win-win because you're humanizing the politicians. And you can get some funny viral moments.
I'm Bernie Sanders.
I go to your political. I don't know, but my point. I wouldn't say that about your dick.
You get to penis somehow.
Is your asshole gray?
See?
Okay, that'd be one of them. Yeah, you're right.
Is it though?
It brings big numbers, right? That's probably why people do. Because everyone's like talking. It didn't used to be this way. It didn't used to be everyone was into politics. Now even kids are into politics.
Yeah.
When I was like 12, I would just be like, smell my fingers.
Very refreshing to hear a comedian in the orbit of...
Yeah, but after you get over the age of 12, the poo-poo fart jokes and like the locker room humor can only go so far. Like, you want to run a professional podcast that's bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and you want the unwavering support of your fans. I don't want to hear about Bobby Lee's micro penis for the 57th time. This boils down to, why can't I get views? And I want to be safe and brand friendly and make my bags.
Joe Rogan confessed that they're just comedians and not knowledgeable enough to have the types of guys on their podcasts like Andrew Schulz, Joe Rogan, or even worse, Theo Von. And speaking of Theo Von, he now might just be the biggest political puppet in the Rogan sphere, larger than, dare I say it, Papa Toe. And man, do I have a lot of stuff to say about this guy. But I'll just round it all up by saying that he is much worse than you think he is. And he's just hiding behind his stage act, which is him just improving as this curious hillbilly from Louisiana who says random things. In reality, guys, Theodor von Kernatowski comes from a line of deeply influential and successful Polish politicians.
Holy schizo, I'm in, Batman.
And some of his relatives are pretty shady individuals. Like, I'm pretty sure one of his close relatives was assassinated in Louisiana a few years ago, which everyone just assumes was staged as him unaliving himself, since he actually owed millions of dollars to people who lent him money.
The former...
What the actual fuck?
owner of Tipitina's Music Club has died at the age of 68. Roland von Kernatowski reportedly shot himself during a hunting accident. Eyewitness investigator David Hammer recently
it happens.
Reported on allegations he took millions of dollars from investors.
Von Kernatowski was primarily a real estate developer building widely praised projects like the Orpheum Theater. But in the last 2 years,
Theo is Polish intelligence. That cancels each other out.
Kernatowski's financial life was unraveling. He split with partner Eric George, bounced checks to performers, and was sued by investors who gave him millions of dollars for treasury bonds, only to learn the money was tied up in his real estate projects. And this year, the FBI began questioning the investors about where the money went.
And so I have a lot to say about Theo Von, because I think that he tries his very hardest to stay away from any criticism. Like the reason you never see P cringe.
He's just the cool Southern hillbilly. Everybody loves Theo.
Too lazy to try, comedy enforcement, or anyone in this category make a video about him is because he has the strictest copyright butts out of all of the comedians we
judge a man by his copyright disputes. Hiding something, bro. I'm telling you, this is one of the Third Eye Global tenets. Like, if we were to have, I'll draft it up, okay? I will make the document, maybe in real time, right now. The 10 Commandments of social media. Dark triad analysis, meta-analysis. One of them is, he who presents himself with a clean image has more dirt on him than a pig in the mud. Or an iteration of that. I'm telling you, bro, there's something there. It is a deep, dark projection hiding from the truth and the light. Philion speaks of this. Time and time again, we see these people with these squeaky clean images, family-friendly content being the most heinous, diabolical gooners and degenerates our eyes have ever seen. You got people doing false copyright claims, so there's no criticism or blowback. Meanwhile, we're in the arena. Our balls are hanging, saying shit you can only think of, and you whisper to your friends with our chests out, shoulders back, maintaining visceral eye contact at all times.
Cover. I mean, they literally banned anyone from seeing even a clip from his show in another video, which is pretty much illegal, since all these videos fall under fair use. So, as innocent as he paints himself, he's actually terrified of any sort
What are you hiding, bucko?
of negative review. I mean, just look at the way he scurries away from Andrew Tate and the Nelk Boys after the Nelk Boys ambushed Theo with the idea of having Tate on Theo's podcast.
Joey Brown, and these guys loyal.
Andrew, you gotta do Theo's podcast.
Yeah, we should talk about how you thought about it.
That would be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I got enough emotional issues at the moment.
But Theo gets away with everything.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't until he doesn't. Yeah. Tell me about it. Welcome to America, dude. I don't know how long they're letting you stay.
Yeah, me neither. Glad to be back.
And so, as shitty as it was to ambush Theo with someone as controversial as Andrew Tate, him scurrying away is very telling of how he's so protective of his image. I'd also like to add that when he pushed that dude by his neck in a random bar in Nashville, everyone and their mothers came to Theo's defense before ever hearing the other side of the story.
That's kind of wild. What actually went down there?
So I'm just going to share his side of the story with you guys right now to let you be the judge on whether this guy deserved physical violence or not.
Hey, I'm the fan who got choked out by Theo Von. Let me tell you what actually happened. So I'm not just a random fan. I live in Nashville. I play music full time. That's me. All of this happened on May 2nd. You can see right there. Which also happened to be my birthday. I had my gig from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. My friends brought me cake. They brought me balloons. The bar brought me...
Okay, so far, wholesome chungus.
Sparklers. So when Theo walked in, he didn't have any security with him, so people were walking up to him, talking to him, taking photos. I finished my show. This was like 10:18. Nobody in my party had talked to him yet, not even me. We thought it would be a funny video idea to get him and me popping my birthday balloons together, because he's a comedian. I was trying to be courteous because he was talking to somebody at the moment, so in this next video, you can actually hear me say, I don't want to interrupt their conversation. I was waiting my turn to talk to him. Everybody...
He did say that. He said, I don't want to interrupt the conversation.
Was all just standing around, having fun, having a good time. Nobody was bothering anybody. I mean, I'll show you the full video. That's the guy I was waiting for, who I didn't want to interrupt. This is where the video that you've seen starts. I went up and I said, will you pop some balloons with me? He turned away and looked like I said something offensive. I leaned in and said, hey man, I'm a fan, I'm just messing with you. He turned back around and then aggressively got in my face right there. I was confused, so you can see me lean in and say, what? And that's when he grabbed my throat and...
That's wild behavior. To force choke a random guy. Now, listen, I'm not a celebrity, but I've been recognized in the street. There has never been a situation, regardless of the vibe / social environment, where I even thought about placing my hand on somebody's neck. Once again, we don't know the full story. We're just getting, well, now we've heard both sides. It's just, that doesn't look good.
Shoved me back. What happened was a completely uncalled for.
I'm just telling you, I wouldn't choke you out if one of you asked me to pop some balloons.
Reaction. Especially when you consider the facts that nobody in my party had been badgering him for hours. We hadn't even talked to him. This was a 14-second interaction, and that was it.
So I'm not entirely sure if I support this guy or not, as his story likely has a lot of holes in it, but I really don't think that what he did called for a shove to the throat. But do let me know what you guys think of that down below. Anyways, getting back to the point of this video, Theo Von also reacted negatively to one of Trump's decisions after seeing the mass casualties in Palestine, where he then proceeded to cry about it on his podcast.
A man should not ask another man to pop balloons. Fair enough. Maybe he thought he was a clown.
Only a few days after being buddy-buddy with the entire family that sends Israel...
Guy seems like he wanted that clip. Maybe. He was recording the entire interaction, which is kind of sus.
Millions of blood money per year.
I don't know if it feels to me like it's a genocide that's happening while we're alive here in front of our lives. And I don't, sometimes I feel like
he had to have misunderstood pop my balloons. I mean, now we're thinking deep. Like offering him like whippets. Like I don't even know, dude.
Should say something. I'm not a geologist or geographer or anything like that, so I don't know a lot of some of it I do know though. Like I know the basics of the issues over there, and I just can't believe that we're watching that and that more isn't said about it. And it's crazy because our country's also...
I don't know, dude. There's been a lot that's been said about it.
Complicit in it, it's in it. And has been for a long time, and it's just kind of interesting because then you just realize, oh well, I'm a member of this country, but I'm just what we want.
Theo Von is a fence sitter, never takes a side, always dodging the questions or playing funny dumb man. Dude, everyone's a fence sitter. That's the exact problem I was trying to elucidate earlier. I found myself being a fence sitter. In fact, I was doing tricks on the fence. I wasn't even zipping it up after I was done glazing the fence. I love the fence because the fence is comfortable. There's no backlash with the fence. But guess what? There's no fucking glory either. In the marketplace of ideas, you need to have your own opinions. And they need to be challenged because then it hones your mind like a sword. Oh, why do I think this thing? Well, let me see if I can even defend this point in the first place. Fence sitting is cope.
Sometimes doesn't matter, and you just have to be a member.
Now, do you have to have an opinion on anything and everything going on all at once? No. But if you have a track record of never having any of your own thoughts or opinions or beliefs ever, you are spineless. That is what we call a jellyfish. You might as well be the Portuguese man of war. You're an invertebrate.
Of a place, and your government is making other choices. So I don't know if I said that correctly or, yeah. So just praying for those people and just the grief that is all going to cause.
Theo is kind of a similar case like Lex, no? Both kind of strange guys with enormous success for no reason. Now, I would say that, yeah. But a normie would say that Theo Von is hilarious and that he's one of the best comedians on the planet. And he's, a genius. I see somebody who never actually picks a side, who deflects when any sort of conflict comes his way, and who's not that funny. But what do I know? I hate everything. People ask me, I'll admit it, I'm biased. Maybe I have standards. Maybe I'm just that high IQ. I don't know, dude. I don't like, and this is hyper specific to comedy and satire, I don't like stereotypical archetypes when it comes to comedic expression. Meaning, if you look at Sofia Vergara, right? Absolute milk mommy. She made her money by hamming up her Colombian accent and being the token Latina. Now, I think that's cheap, but get your bag. That's a lesser example. It doesn't really bother me. But if you're going to be a comedian, and like Sebastian Maniscalco, for example, he had a funny special when he first came on the scene, and he was doing his Italian thing. But then, like, after a certain point, how many Italian stereotype jokes can you just rely on before it becomes nauseating and just not funny at all? Right? With Theo Von, it's this Louisiana, aloof, wild card. It's just gimmicky. I don't know.
You notice, like, what are we doing?
And I just want to say that this was a completely human reaction by Theo here, and it's good of him to say anything in order to make a dent and move the ball.
The Gabriel Iglesias effect. That's right.
The right direction. I just think saying this and then doing a complete 180, dining with Ivanka Trump and rubbing shoulders with the people who fund Israel is pretty contradicting of him. So guys, as more and more Austin assassins come out and...
Chad, am I a hater? Am I cooked? Am I fried? I think I'm onto something.
Visibly regret voting for Trump, it just makes you realize that these guys should have never involved themselves.
I'm just so sick of these force-fed algorithmic demons that I've had to look at on my feed for the past 4 years. Are you guys not exhausted of the same people being in the rotation with no actual nuanced ideas? It's wearing on my psyche.
...themselves in politics in the first place, since after all, they're just podcasters, with some considering them comedians. I mean, even my channel is now somewhat political at times, simply because I focus solely on these guys. Like, I've never intended to wade into these deep political waters, but here we are, B, and I am well aware that the...
We could draw some parallels. YouTube is dead. Short-form content, clip farming, and live streaming killed it. Stand-up comedy is dead. Podcasting killed it. These mediums are perpetually changed forever. And a lot of people are clinging to the nostalgia of times of old, but those are gone. I've went to the past and no one was there.